Hey everyone, Shabby Gaming here, and welcome to the first episode of our new season of the Universe Mode. The draft is done, the introductions are done, and now it is time for our first episode of Mayhem here live from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And we are going to start this new Universe Mode off in style with two Lucha Underground big names. Of course, John Morrison, of course, known as Johnny Mundo over in Lucha Underground, taking on Pentagon Jr. And here we go. The first match of the new Mayhem. It's starting things off with, of course, John Morrison. Johnny Mundo, whatever you want to call him these days. And he will be taking on Pentagon Jr. What a great card for you set this evening. The Sumerian Death Squad takes on Moustache Mountain. Michael Elgin versus Tazz in a human machine match, as PJ Toby's called it. Rob Van Dam takes on Kota Ibushi, and then our main event this evening, AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels in a Mayhem #1 contendership match. This is going to be top, this is. I'm looking forward to this. We have also had a couple of dark matches already this evening. Of course, now with the ranking system, dark matches do get points, not as much as a normal match on a show. We saw Bam Bam Bigelow defeating Tatanka, which gets Bam Bam Bigelow 3 points. And we saw Drew Gulak defeating Neville, which is going to get him 3 points as well. So, good start for both those two. Tatanka and Neville, of course, both losing 5 points for losing a match. So it is a big gap when you think about it. Because although they're only getting 3 points, these guys are actually gaining 8 on the people they're defeating. So that's interesting. And here, of course, we're going to have Pentagon Jr. versus John Morrison. Now, this match is, of course, taking place on the main card, which means this match is for 5 points. So this would be a great chance for one of these two guys to force their way forward. Of course, both these guys are probably looking at the upper mid-card. You never know. Maybe even Morrison looking at the main event picture. I don't know. It's going to be quite tricky here in Mayhem. You look at the main event, you've got Styles, Michaels, Sting, Warrior, Cena, Austin, Savage, Luger, Lesnar, Rollins, Balor, Itami, Ibushi. There's a lot of big names in the main event picture on Mayhem. It's going to be very, very tricky for one of these two guys to fight their way into it. But then again, a victory here and you never know. That's the thing. It's all about getting these victories, building up your ranking points, and then eventually PJ Toby will have no choice but to give you the opportunity. But this is very much how we want our Universe Mode to go. I know a lot of other people do Universe Modes out there, but not a lot of people use the same amount of cores that we do. Myself and PJ Toby, of course, when we did this draft, we've got 4 brands on the go, if you've not seen it already. Mayhem, Octane, Throwdown, and Adrenaline. They all have a roster of 62 people at this point in time. That's utilising every single person on the game roster, plus all 100 cores as well are going to be used. So we definitely have probably got the most in-depth and biggest roster out there in a Universe Mode. And I think tonight is definitely a way to show it off, because tonight we already got On the actual main show this evening, we've only got 2 people that are on the actual game out of our entire main show. And that just shows the sort of the level of diversity we have. We've got some guys for you from the indie scene, from old ECW, from Lucha Underground, from the UK scene, from Europe. Of course, from NXT now as well with Aleister Black. And New Japan and Ring of Honor with Michael Elgin. We really are spanning as many different areas as we possibly can. And it's essentially like a Champions League, isn't it? A World Cup of Wrestling. We brought all these top guys together to see just what would happen if they were all placed in one area at one time. And Pentagon here in control of the early proceedings of this match. Now this evening, I think I mentioned it already, AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels in the main event. That is going to be a #1 contendership match, and the winner of that one will go on to face off against Brock Lesnar at our very first pay-per-view at the end of this month. Now, I don't think I've mentioned too many times so far, we're going to change the pay-per-view format a little bit. Instead of me doing 5-day pay-per-view, which was getting a little bit much for all of us, I think, we are going to have a pay-per-view every single weekend, and it's going to be one for each show. So starting off this weekend, or in-game weekend, that is. So after we've done one episode of every single show, we are going to have an Adrenaline pay-per-view where we'll be crowning all of our first Adrenaline champions. So be sure to keep an eye out for that. Next week, we will have our first Throwdown pay-per-view. The week after that, our first Octane pay-per-view. And in week number 4 of this Universe mode, we'll have our first Mayhem pay-per-view. And we're going to have some cracking matches set up for you as well. As Pentagon Jr. going for this early, taking Johnny Mundo up into the package pile driver. Pentagon going for the pin. Is this going to be his first 5 points? 1, 2, no, only a 2 count. Wow. Mundo showing his resilience there, kicking out of that. Pentagon can't believe it. He thought he had this match won. Went for the stamp on Mundo, but completely missed him. Mundo now bringing Pentagon back up to his feet. DDT. Quite spiked as well there on Pentagon. And now Mundo's lining up Pentagon. What's he going for here? A boot in the gut. Oh, Johnny Mundo. A package pile driver of his own on Pentagon Jr. Mundo. 1, 2. Oh, near 2 count. What an ending that would have been if Mundo had used Pentagon Jr.'s own package pile driver against him. Mundo now bringing Pentagon back up to his feet. But Pentagon with the jawbreaker, then the running Insiguri, I suppose. And I think we will rename Morrison to Mundo. I think that's what PJ Tony wants to go for. Oh, Pentagon's got his feet up on the ropes here. Referee doesn't see it. And, oh, almost got the free count. That was really tight, that was. Pentagon now with the snapman. A big kick into the back of Johnny Mundo as well. Pentagon makes his way up onto that top rope and dropping the double elbow straight across the face of Mundo. Pentagon taking Mundo in for a pump handle drop. What was the pump handle drop? Was it a pump handle Michinoku driver? More like something along them lines anyway. A variation of all those sort of things I've just said put together. Pentagon now dropping a leg drop straight across the neck of Morrison. Now once again lining. I keep switching between. I'm just going to start calling him Hennigan now as well. Pentagon lining Johnny Mundo once again up into another package pile driver and hits the second of the match for him. The further match altogether. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Pentagon Jr. Big win for him. He's taken the 5 points forward. And it means Mundo is going to get 5 points removed from his ranking score. Of course, if you want to keep track of the ranking scores, then check down in the description below. It might be worth waiting until the end, though, because I will have probably updated them all by now, and you will probably find out who's going to win the rest of the matches here this evening. So if you even want to look at the ranking score to see where it's currently at, there is a link in the description below to the blogger page, and that will give you all the rankings, plus championship histories and current rosters and tag teams and so forth. But that's a good win there for Pentagon Jr. It was very back and forth, and we thought he could have lost it when Morrison hits, or Mundo should I say, hit Pentagon's own package pile driver against Pentagon. But Pentagon was able to fight through it. And there is the victory. Pentagon Jr. does well here. Great win and a great way to open our first show of Season 2 of the SWE Universe mode. And here we go. Next it is going to be our first tag team match of the brand new Universe mode as Sumerian Death Squad takes on Moustache Mountain. Very interesting one. A couple of teams that I must admit, they must have collided quite a few times up and down the UK in places like ICW and Progress. It would be stupid if they hadn't, but this is going to be a cracker here this evening on Mayhem. And here we go. I'm really looking forward to this. Two teams I'm a massive fan of. And two teams I hope you see in NXT at some point. I don't know about Michael Dante joining NXT. It's not something I've heard of, but I honestly think the Tyler Bate Trent Seven angle has a very good chance of happening in NXT, in my opinion. We'll find out. We'll wait until it happens, I suppose, but I've got a good thought that could happen, you know. And I can see we have a brand new Aleister Black core. Looking pretty good, isn't it, really? Looking pretty good. It's a shame there are some fantastic core makers out there, but a lot of them only stick to the people that are within WWE or NXT or people like that. And it's a shame because I'd love them to utilise some of their abilities and some of the really, really great wrestlers out there that are not WWE bound. Like the Young Bucks. Now, I've found a decent set of Young Bucks, which we'll see. Will we see them tomorrow in Octane? We might see them tomorrow in Octane. They're not scheduled for a match at this point in time, but a couple of other guys are scheduled for matches, so we probably will see them at some point. So yeah, it's a shame that there's a few people that I would really, really want that and just not like a bit like Brian Cage. Now we will see Brian Cage in a couple of weeks' time, I think, on an episode of Mayhem. But apart from that, it's tricky because he's not the best looking core we've got, but he's somebody I really, really wanted in this universe mode, somebody I'm a massive fan of, and I really wanted to make sure we did get him in this universe mode. I skipped him in the last one because the core wasn't fantastic, and I don't really want to skip him here. So here we go then. Trent Seven and Aleister Black to start things off. And Seven straight away with a German suplex, folding Aleister Black in half. So, of course, the ranking system does work for tag teams as well. But you do get double the points. Now, the way it's going to work is all these guys will get their singles points for this. So, the winning team will get 5 points each. The losing team will lose 5 points each. But the winning tag team will gain 10 points in the tag team rankings. And the losing tag team will lose 5 points in the tag team rankings. So, it's going to work on many levels. So, it means that if you're a part of a strong tag team, you can still move up the singles rankings pretty well as well. So it sort of stops people like Aleister Black being defined only as a tag team wrestler. If he becomes a dominant tag team wrestler and the Sumerian Death Squad move on to maybe try and challenge against the likes of the Hardys for the championships, maybe, then we will definitely have a strong individual in Aleister Black who, if they do end up losing the championships, possibly could go for an upper mid-card championship, maybe the television championship or something on them sort of lines. So Trent Seven now just crushing the skull of Aleister Black, and Black is someone you can't turn your back on because he just has an incredible arsenal of kicks and strikes, and you could be in a lot of trouble if you don't give him the attention that you need to. Trent, I struggle with Tyler Bate. I don't know why. I really struggle with Tyler Bate. I keep getting his name wrong for some reason. Great double knees there by Bate, and I think he almost caught... I think he may have caught Aleister Black low there, you know. Big right hand there by Bate, getting around the back of Aleister Black, who flips out of it, and a running double foot stomp on Tyler Bate, and that could be the change that Sumerian Death Squad needed, as Tommy N now bringing Michael Dante into the equation. Tommy N catching Tyler Bate with a kick in the shin, and Michael Dante running straight in with a belly-to-belly suplex. Great teamwork there by the Sumerian Death Squad. Of course, the Sumerian Death Squad dominated the Throwdown Tag Team division. They held the Tag Team Champions throughout the entirety of Season 1 of the SWE Universe mode, apart from the final night, when, of course, they lost the belts to Red Dragon, which I was disappointed with, to tell the truth, because I knew the draft was coming, and I knew the champions would be immune from the draft, and I really, really, really wanted to keep the Sumerian Death Squad. But PJ Tovey beat me there, and I'm so disappointed because this is just one of my favourite teams. It really is. But then again, all four of these guys, and it's worked out quite well for me because me and PJ Tovey have very similar tastes in wrestling. We both like the majority of the same people. There's the odd person that I like that he doesn't, and he likes Jim Cornette, and he's the only person in the world who likes Jim Cornette. So it worked out pretty well for me because all 4 of these rosters that I'm going to have to record on my own, the majority of it, because obviously we can't get PJW up there that often because of work commitments and so forth. And it's good for me because all 4 rosters are amazing. They've got a lot of people on there that I really like. So I'm going to really enjoy this universe mode. I'm hoping you guys are as well. As Trent now taking Dante up into a pile driver. Second pile driver in a row. There's the pin. 1, 2, but Black comes along and breaks up the pin. That could have been big up for Moustache Mountain. Oh, double gutbuster by Sumerian Death Squad. Now Dante going for the pin. 1, 2. Trent 7 kicking out. Dante now bringing Trent back up to his feet. Into the front chancery. And taking him back into the corner of the Death Squad. But Trent fighting back with that boot into the face. Now Dante getting behind as well with that clubbing blow against the neck. And then just grabbing the back of the hair of Trent. And referee letting that one go. A little bit of an iffy one, that. It looks like Dante's going to go for a camel clutch here. He does. He locks in the camel clutch. This could be a submission here, you know. I think Tyler Bates should get in here and break this up. And I thought it was a submission there for a second. No, but Trent does manage to break free. Now Trent, oh, backbreaker. Taking Dante down into a pin. And again, referee's very slow down there. But Aleister Black able to come in and break the pin. And Aleister Black running through the back of Trent with that knee strike. Referee forcing Black outside the ring. But that's going to allow Michael Dante a few seconds that he needs to recover. But it looks like it is Trent who's going to get back up on his feet first. Boot to the back and another boot to the back of Michael Dante as well. And Trent comes along and tags in Tyler Bates. Moustache Mountain here would love a victory. We didn't see a lot of them in the last universe mode, but PJW I feel has got a lot more for them this month. Leading forward into the first pay-per-view, Moustache Mountain have got a chance to really prove themselves. You never know. A couple of big victories in this month, and they could be the team going against the Broken Hardys for the Tag Team Championships at our first pay-per-view. Big elbow drop there. And oh, it's only a 2 count. Trent had taken Aleister Black out, but Michael Dante was able to kick out after the 2. Now all 4 guys in the ring. Referee lost control. Oh, he quickly gained control again. Headbutt there by Dante, but gets kicked by a boot in the gut by Tyler Bates. This is really going to go either way, this one. I can't... This is really going to go either way. I can't sort of pin down who's going to win this match. Both teams are looking incredibly strong. Tyler Bates catching Dante into the corner. Big kick in the back and then just cuts him across with a cutter. I'm really enjoying this match. Of course, we've still got 3 more big matches for you here this evening. After this one, we're going to have the Human Submission Machine. Is that right? Have I just made that up? I think I've got confused between 2 different... The Human Suplex Machine, that's it. The Human Suplex Machine, Tazz, taking on Unbreakable Michael Elgin. Also later on this evening, Rob Van Dam takes on Kota Ibushi. And then, of course, our main event of the evening, the Mayhem Championship #1 contendership match, as AJ Styles takes on Shawn Michaels. The winner of that one going forward to our first pay-per-view to face off against Brock Lesnar for the Mayhem Championship. Of course, Lesnar won that belt away from CM Punk at SWE Evolution, the finale of our first series. The main event of our first series, actually, the very last match. Loving blow there by Bate again. Now getting on the back of Dante, but Dante gets on the back of Bate now, and they're really jostling for position. Who's going to be able to get the control? And it is Tyler Bates taking Dante up into that backdrop. Well, both of these teams know how important that 10 points is, because they know at the moment everybody is even apart from the Hardys. So this 10 points would instantly put them as #1 contenders, instantly. But there's a lot to come this month, a lot to come, and we'll see some interesting stuff, I think. Tyler Bate with a pin. 1, 2. Again, only a 2 count. Bate now raking the eyes of Dante, who gets back up on his feet, though. Clubbing blow to the the kidneys there of Tyler Bate, and you see Bate struggling now, but playing possum in the corner into a DDT on Michael Dante, and then an elbow right into the back of Dante as well. Both Dante and Tyler Bate have been in the ring for quite some time now. You'd think one of these two guys would look for the tag out, wouldn't you? Bate dropping a knee right in the face of Michael Dante. Dante now with a jawbreaker on Tyler Bate as well. Dante sending Bate all the way across the ring into the turnbuckle. And both these, like I said, they're both in the ring for quite some time. You'd think that maybe the fresh member of the team will be able to do a bit of good work here for them. Dante again sending Bate into the corner. Up onto the top rope goes Bate, and Dante looks like he's got something high impact planned here. A gut wrench. Oh, look at the strength of Michael Dante. Super gut wrench suplex. Taking Tyler Bate down. There's the pin. Is it going to be enough? 1, 2. Trent's there and just about breaks at the pin. I don't think Tyler Bate was going to get out of that one himself, you know. Michael Dante now has the legs of Tyler Bate and stamps right in the sternum. And I'm locking in a knee bar. This could be a submission victory here for the Sumerian Death Squad. No, Tyler Bate fighting free with a boot to the face of Michael Dante. Dante with the elbow on the face of Bate, and both guys trying to grapple the other one, but struggling to get control. Now this is a new bug. Not seen this one before. Please don't tell me we're going to be stuck with this. Come on, somebody get control of this. Somebody get control of this, for God's sake.
One eternity later.
Trent now stamping on the back of the leg of Aleister Black. Doing some damage to that knee. Bring Black back up to his feet. And here we go. Trent looking for that power driver. He's very, very close, though, to the Sumerian Death Squad corner. This could affect him when he goes for the pin. But he doesn't go. Oh, he's pulling him away from the corner into the middle of the ring. There's a boot into the back. And again, looking to bring Aleister back up to his feet. But Aleister with the jawbreaker. And then a big slam into the pin. 1, 2, and Dante's taken Tyler Bate out, and it's still only enough for a 2 count. This match is never going to end. Oh, but Trent is straight back up into a power driver. Wow. Hits it, middle of the ring. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, and again, it's only a 2. What on earth is going on in this universe mode? Nobody wants to lose the inaugural tag team match. Trent now boot to the back of the leg of Tommy End. Into a front chancery. Trent dragging Tommy End along. So Moustache Mountain working together here. Oh, package power driver super kick combination. Surely Tyler's got to go for the pin here. And he does. 1, 2, and 3. That's it. Moustache Mountain pick up the victory with the package power driver super kick combination to Aleister Black. What a win that is for Moustache Mountain. Wow. So that is going to put them #1 contenders technically. Well, they're going to be highest in the rankings. What PJ Toby decides to do is up to him. Of course, the rankings are not going to be rigid. We're not going to say just because you're top of the rankings you get that championship match. If there's another way of doing it, that's the way we do it. Just the rankings are a way to help us understand who is most in form. And at the moment, Moustache Mountain are most in form. They are top of the rankings. But this also means that the Sumerian Death Squad are now currently bottom of the rankings because they lose. Is it 5 points or 10 points for this? I can't remember now. I think it's 5 points. They'll lose 5 points for this. And Moustache Mountain gain 10 points. It also means that Tyler Bate and Trent Seven will also gain 5 points each in their singles rankings as well. So that's going to help them out quite a bit as well. So, what a win that is. I think I probably would have cut the middle out of that match because it was quite a long goer. But it was a very, very good match from start to finish. And a great way to start the tag team division here in Mayhem off. We've got some big, big matches still for you tag team wise over the next few weeks. We're going to see the Freebirds, the Matadors, We've got the Hardys, got the Wolves. We've got Unbreakable F Machines. We've got some real good tag teams here, and Dynasty as well, don't forget them. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. And here's our next match of the evening. The match that PJ Toby has dubbed as the Human Machine match. We have got the Unbreakable Michael Elvin. Michael Elvin? He's not Elvin. Unbreakable Michael Elgin versus the Human Submission Machine that is Tazz. And here we go. I'm excited for this one. It has been so long, it's been so many years that I have been looking for a good Tazz on this game. And finally, I have found one. And he's going to get the opportunity here to show exactly what he can do when he takes on Unbreakable Michael Elgin. And Elgin's someone who didn't really get a lot of opportunity in the previous Universe mode. He got a little bit in Season 1. He got an opportunity in the King of Pro Wrestling tournament we did. Was that King of Pro Wrestling? The King of Gladiator? I can't remember what it's called now. He had an opportunity in that. Didn't do too badly, but didn't get all the way through, of course. But I think now, I think we're going to see more of Michael Elgin, I think. And it starts here this evening with a potential victory, if he can, against Tazz. Of course, this one is worth 5 points. 5 points for the winner, 5 points for the loser. So whoever wins this will gain 10 points on their opponents. And here we go. Like I said, I've never had a decent Tazz on this game. Oh my god, he's even got the logos on the towel. How's he done that? I didn't realise you could do that on this game. Bab, 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 bab. I'm a fan of Tazz, you know. I don't know what it is. I like a good suplexer. I'm not a fan of... Well, I don't mind Lesnar, but Lesnar bores me because he doesn't change. He doesn't do anything else. Whereas at least Tazz and that were a bit... They had some differences. They did little different things here and there, didn't they? But I'm looking forward to this one. And I think that's what PJ Toby should do. He should do a Tazz versus Lesnar match. I like that. Tazz versus Lesnar in a submission match? In a suplex match. 5-minute Iron Man match. The winner is the person who does the most suplexes. We can do that. And Tazz is pretty beastly. I wonder what we can do with Tazz in this universe. Where do we limit him to? Do we limit him at all? Of course, from ECW, we can look at Tazz potentially as a hardcore wrestler, and he was utilised as a hardcore wrestler for points in WWE. Or we could potentially use him... Oh my god, straight with a suplex and the strength. We could use him a little bit higher up the card. We could use him upper mid card, and who knows, if he puts together a good vein of form, there's no reason why Tazz couldn't go after a Lesnar. I think Tazz versus Lesnar actually could be a pretty good match. I think both similar styles, both similar types of aggression, and really someone who could really put the cat amongst the pigeons with Lesnar, because Lesnar's pretty dominant at the moment. Of course, the Mayhem champion will be defending that belt in a few weeks' time against either Styles or Michaels. And the way that Lesnar is, of course, we probably won't see him until that main event match. That's the way Lesnar works, isn't it? Even PJ Toby couldn't organise a contract with Lesnar that had him appearing more than once in a month. As Elgin locking in that camel clutch pretty early on here. Remember, we've still got 2 more matches for you this evening as well. As I said, Michaels versus AJ Styles is our main event. But next, we have got Rob Van Dam, another former ECW guy, taking on Kota Ibushi, which I think is going to be a fantastic match. And again, 2 guys who I should imagine might be fighting their way to get into that television championship situation, I suppose. But I think PJ Toby might have his television championship match sorted for Mayhem. He's had a match, he's had a brainwave. He loves a good brainwave, does PJ Toby. And he's had an idea for a match that he really wants to see. And that is Finn Balor defending the television championship against Seth Rollins. That's what he's penciled in for the pay-per-view. Unless something major happens or something major changes, that is what we're looking at. Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the television championship, as well as Brock Lesnar defending against either AJ Styles or Shawn Michaels. It's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it. But of course, our first pay-per-view is only going to be in a few episodes' time, and that is of course going to be Adrenaline Rush, Adrenaline Rush, as I got very drunk and kept singing during the draft. And that's going to be our first pay-per-view this Sunday. I keep saying this Sunday. I mean this Sunday in the game calendar. I don't know when it'll actually be uploaded. I'm going to continue uploading a video every other day for this. So yeah, our first pay-per-view will be in 8 days' time. Yeah, 8 days' time. And that is Adrenaline Rush. But of course, before then, we will have had a show from every single brand. Jackknife Powerbomb there by Michael Elgin, just folding Tazz in half. But Tazz, resilience is his key. The former FTW champion. There's the pin. 1, 2. It's only a 2 count. Elgin fights free. Tazz back up on his feet now, stamping on the back of Elgin. Yeah, I was a fan of Tazz. I was a bit disappointed. Did he retire quite early due to injury, if I remember correctly? I might be wrong. I got a feeling he did. And I think PJ Toby was a big fan as well. Of course, myself and PJ Toby, I remember when we were younger, we were about 10, 11, 12. We used to go down to the local town centre, and we found a guy who used to sell us ECW VHSs, and that was the pinnacle for us. And we found an ECW VHS. We were just amazed. We'd go home straight away and watch it. It was just such a good feeling. Of course, it's not that bad anymore, because you can get hold of Wrestling Lawrence anywhere now. You can illegally stream it on the internet from any company. It's possible now these days, isn't it? But when we found an ECW VHS, we were just astounded. It was like Christmas and birthday all come together. And that's when we first started to see people like Tazz, Sabu, Rob Van Dam, Terry Funk, the Sandman, Raven, Tommy Dreamer, Axel Rotten, Balls Mahoney, all those sort of guys that were big, and of course Rhino as well. I could sit here and list the entire ECW roster, but a few of them are on PJ Toby's roster, aren't they? PJ Toby's got Tazz, he's got New Jack, Raven, Sandman. We're seeing all those three in a triple threat match next week. Terry Funk he's got as well. He's got a really good hardcore division as PJ Toby, and I think Bam Bam Bigelow, of course, former ECW man himself, will be quaking in his boots at the potential people he's going to have to defend this belt against. But of course, as hardcore championship go, it will be 24/7 rules. So should someone want to go after Bam Bam Bigelow, there's no reason why they can't take the belt away from him before the pay-per-view. Tazz now launching Elgin over his shoulders, and once again, now a big spine buster. And of course, Tazz likes to utilise the Tazz mission as a finishing manoeuvre, but he's going to go first for a T-bone suplex. Launching Elgin across the ring. There's the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Elgin just kicked out. Maybe a little bit closer than what I thought it was going to be honest with you, though. Tazz now bringing Elgin back up to his feet, but Elgin fighting back with a shoulder block. And Michael Elgin's someone I'm surprised WWE haven't gone for. Then again, he might have gone for them. You never know. WWE may have gone for Elgin, and Elgin might have said no, but I'm a little bit surprised that is the way. Tazz now with a shoulder block on Michael Elgin. Now, Elgin fighting back with the right hand into the gut. It's going to take one massive move, I think, from either of these two to finish the other one off. Suplex of his own there, Elgin, on Tazz. The human suplex machine. It's a shame that I got Samoa Joe, isn't it, really? Because Tazz versus Samoa Joe is a dream match we'd all like to see, I suppose. A great potential tag team as well. Tazz now another beautiful suplex. Just has the ability to launch men around. And you look at the size that Michael Elgin is, and Tazz is launching him around like he's Spike Dudley. That's how easy Tazz is finding this at the moment. And Tazz now stamping on the back of Elgin, and again just stamping on the back. And Tazz is launching a flurry of fists. A flurry? That's not a real word, is it? I'm pretty sure flurry is not a real word. I don't know. Either way, Elgin now. Oh, Elgin going to use his strength to deadlift Tazz from the outside into the Falcon Arrow as well. Beautiful move there by Michael Elgin. Straight to the pin. Michael Elgin sort of camouflaged into the ring here, isn't he? Michael Elgin. What do you think of the arena and the ring, actually, by the way? It's slightly different to the last series of made a couple of changes. Yeah, I wanted to sort of keep... I don't know if this is going to work or not throughout the week, but we're going to try it. I wanted to keep the mats colour-coded to the show. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because some of them... I'm going to slightly amend one or two of them just to try and make them look a bit neater, but I quite like this Mayhem one. I do like this Mayhem one. I think I like the turnbuckle pads a lot as well. Elgin now taking Tazz up into an Elgin bomb. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3, and Elgin does it. Michael Elgin picks up the pin over the human suplex machine that is Tazz, and it is Elgin getting the all-important first 5 points here in the Universe mode, which is going to pull him forward away from Tazz, and of course Tazz will get -5 for that, so he'll be dropping quite far down the rankings, but I'm sure Tazz will be quite willing to fight his way back in. But we saw great moments from both these guys in this match, and I'm sure this is not the last we'll see of either of these two guys in the ring. And we will obviously be seeing the Unbreakable effing Machines together pretty soon as well. Brian Cage and Michael Elgin teaming together. We've got that match penciled in for a couple of weeks' time, which would be pretty good. Okay. I've just noticed the problem I have. I'm not doing very well at this, am I? Sorry, it's not a major problem. I've just noticed that I've put a match down. I've got 2 matches in one night. I've got Brian Cage in a singles match and the Unbreakable effing Machines in a tag team match all in the same night. So that's a bit of a problem. I can fix that. Anyway, next match. And here we go. What a match this is going to be. Rob Van Dam versus Kota Ibushi. And here we go. I'm looking forward to this match, I really am. Rob Van Dam versus Kota Ibushi. And a brand new Rob Van Dam core as well. What do you think of this? I think this is a fantastic core, this one. Face is spot on. Attire could not be more perfect. I'm sure PJ Toby's been more than happy with his draft pick. And I was a little bit disappointed that he got Rob Van Dam, because I really wanted him for Octane. I thought he could be a great member of my Octane roster. And who knows, as time goes on, when we start to figure out if we're going to do shake-ups and trades and stuff like that, Rob Van Dam could very well be somebody who will make a move across to another show. But that's going to be in the future, of course. Nothing too soon. And of course, this match is very important because, like I said, ranking points are now in place. We've seen some points going already. We've got Bam Bam's got 3, Drulak's got 3, Pentagon Jr.'s got 5, Tyler Bate and Trent Seven got 5, the tag team got 10. And of course, my last match, Michael Elgin has picked up 5 points over Tazz as well. So it's going to take a while for the rankings to really take shape, but I think it's a good thing. And what we will probably do is what I'm thinking of doing, and it's something that has been suggested to me quite a few times, especially by Jay over at Gaming HD, is when 2K18 comes out, we will continue this universe mode into the new game. Of course, there'll be brand new people added to the roster, which would be great. But what we'll do is we'll keep the same ranking points. So this is the beginning of what could end up becoming a very long-term universe mode. I'm not just talking about 2K17, like I said, 2K18, 2K19, 2K20, who cares how far it goes, but the ranking points will stay. And if we do remove anyone from the universe mode, probably what I will do is I'll set up a separate page, a separate blogger page for an alumni, and people can keep their ranking points maybe. But yeah, that's long in the future, I think, though. Not going to worry too much about that right now. But of course, like I said before, if you want to see the rankings, if you want to see the rosters, if you want to see how the rankings work, or any of the championship histories, then go over and check out the blogger in the description below. All the information is there, and you should be able to find anything you want to know. And of course, if you have any other questions that are not covered there, then drop them in the comment section down below, and myself and PJ Tovey, I'm sure, from his hidden location somewhere in the world, will be able to inform you of any you want to know. I'm so excited for this match. This is one that PJ Tovey, I think, had in mind when he picked his drafts. because this has just got 5-star match written all over it, hasn't it, really? And at the moment, it's Ibushi who's taking control of it early on. And yeah, like I said, massive match. Both these guys will be looking towards that television championship picture. Like I said, PJ Toby, I think, has already got his heart set on a Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins match for the television championship. But either Rob Van Dam or Ibushi has the opportunity here to really force their way into that championship picture and show what they can do. RVD went for the... Ooh, right, a kick in the calf there by Kota Ibushi. Now taking Rob Van Dam up. He's looking for an Ibushi bomb already. No, he just went for the normal power bomb. Of course, the Ibushi bomb is a sit-out last ride. Ibushi dropping the elbow into the knee of Rob Van Dam. Now a big boot into the gut as well. Ibushi up on the middle rope, stalking the grounded Rob Van Dam. Oh, went for the backflip, I think, trying to catch Rob Van Dam, but Rob just took a step to the left and Kota Ibushi completely missed, but Ibushi continued to take control. Sending now Van Dam off that far side, running forearm right into the face of Van Dam. And now I seem to have the hiccups, which is always fun. Van Dam now all wrenching the arm. And of course Van Dam's also somebody who could get himself involved in the hardcore picture should he need to, but I think PJ Toby does have his sights set on Van Dam a little bit higher up the card, and I wonder whether he might give Van Dam the opportunity to maybe go for the championship. But as I discussed a bit earlier on with the Johnny Mundo situation, when you've got AJ Styles, Shawn Michaels, Sting, The Ultimate Warrior, Randy Savage, Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Hideo Itami, Kota Ibushi, it's going to be very, very difficult for people to break into that main event picture. But there's no reason why it couldn't happen. If enough victories were made and enough points were gained, there's no reason why Rob Van Dam couldn't fight his way into that championship picture. And I'm sure at some point PJ Toby might make an opportunity for him, maybe add him into like a fatal 4-way #1 contendership or something like that, and just give him the opportunity to prove what he can do. Of course, main event matches, like I've said, is going to be worth 2 times the points as normal. So our main event this evening, AJ Styles, Shawn Michaels, is not only for the obviously the #1 contendership for the Mayhem Championship, but the winner will get 10 points in that rather than 5, which will instantly put them top of everyone who's not currently a champion. So they will technically be the #1 contender, because the way we've done it is Brock Lesnar starts with 200 points because he's the brand champion. Everyone else started with 100. Finn Balor starts with 150 because he was the upper mid-card champion. And the tag team champions have started with 125. They've got even the Hardys, that is, of course. And the hardcore champion, Bam Bam, didn't get a lot. He started off with, I think, 115, I think I gave him. So he gave him 3 victories. But of course, he's already picked up some points here this evening with that win over Tatanka in a dark match. And that's what we're going to continue doing. We'll have 2 dark matches per show. Both worth, it'll be 3 points. It's supposed to be half points. But for a singles match, of course, it's rounded up, so it's normally 5 matches. It's normally 5 points, so rounded up, half of that is 3 points. 5-star frog splash by Rob Van Dam. It's not quite enough. Not quite enough, my friends. And Rob's up there again. Oh, 450 splash now. Van Dam showing that he's improved his arsenal. Not only with the 5-star frog splash, but the 450 splash as well. But doesn't go for a pin again, but Ibushi playing possum, catching Rob Van Dam with the jawbreaker. Oh, is this the Ibushi we had before with the buggy boots? I think it might be, you know. Oh, Rob Van Dam spinning heel kick, taking Ibushi down. Now, Ibushi did dominate the early proceedings of the match, but now Van Dam taking control. I think this was the... Yeah, this is the Ibushi we had before with the buggy boots. I'm going to have to change this Ibushi then next time. I'm going to try and get the other Ibushi we had for next week's episode. I don't think he's not penciled to be in next week's episode, to be honest with you. And because there's still 62 people on each roster, we're trying to give everyone an opportunity. So you will see every single, well, not necessarily see them, but every single person on the Mayhem roster will have a match before the first pay-per-view. Be it a dark match or be it on screen, everybody will be seen at least once. Which really gives a chance for everybody to gain and lose some points. Van Dam up top, another big frog splash. This could be it. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm pretty sure Ibushi's shoulders weren't down on the mat, but the referees counted it, and Rob Van Dam does pick up the victory here this evening. He is going to gain 5 points in the rankings. That is going to put him in a very strong position, and PJ Toby is going to have to keep a track on this, because Rob Van Dam, although it had a bit of a slow start in this match, ended up looking pretty damn dominant, actually. I'm pretty impressed by it. And here's a couple of the pins that Rob Van Dam hit, but finally I think it was the last of the 5-star frog splashes that really did Kota Ibushi in. Where was a rolling thunder a little bit beforehand. Van Dam went for the pin straight there, but again it was only enough for a 2 count. And here it was, the second 5-star frog splash in the match. And there is the pin for a 1, a 2, and a 3. So good win for Rob Van Dam. Showing that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in this new universe mode. And a potential television champion at some point in the future. And here we go, it is main event time. AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels. The winner of this one will go on to face off against Brock Lesnar at our first Mayhem pay-per-view in 4 weeks' time. And this could really go either way, this one. Both these guys are pretty damn good, let's face it. And it would not surprise me. I think we've had them face off before, haven't we? I think we had them face off at one of the pay-per-views, didn't we? But still, I think this is going to be another top-class match. And this time, there is a lot on stake. Not only the main event of the first ever Mayhem in Series 2 of our SWE Universe mode, but also 10 points in the ranking system, and the potential chance to main event our first Mayhem own pay-per-view in this universe mode as well. And this is going to be top brass. It's such an important match. We didn't even put the club at ringside. We did not want to ruin the validity of this match by putting the club at ringside. Validity, not validity. I promise I haven't been drinking it. I sometimes have a couple of beers when I'm recording, but this time I haven't. I'm making up words. I'm mispronouncing words. Validity. Here he comes, HBK. So I have to make sure I keep using this attire, because if you use the other attire, you end up with the DX Shawn Michaels. I think I prefer this one for the universe mode, because we've not got DX running anymore. We split them out. I said before, I didn't feel like the stables are really adding much to the universe mode, so I wanted to try and have everyone sort of break it down a little bit. A few of the stables made sense to keep a hold of, but DX, we barely saw them, so why not have Triple H as a singles wrestler? Why not have Shawn Michaels as a single wrestler? And why not have the New Age Outlaws go and do what they want to do themselves as a tag team? And X-Pac, he couldn't be here in this universe mode because he has been arrested for having half a kilogram of cocaine lodged within his anus. So he couldn't make it, unfortunately. But, you know, he might make an appearance later on in the universe mode at some point. We could bring... Is the club on there? The club's on my roster. The club's on... Not the club, sorry. The club are here. The Outsiders. They're on Throwdown, aren't they, now? So here we go. Shawn Michaels versus AJ Styles. The winner will go on to our first pay-per-view to face off against Brock Lesnar for the Mayhem Championship. Lesnar will be watching this backstage. Well, he's not backstage, let's face it. Lesnar's watching this somewhere in a hotel. He's not watching, let's face it. Lesnar's paying somebody to watch this in a hotel for him. And I'm pretty sure it'll be interesting to see who wins this one, so he can start training ready for who he's going to suplex over and over again and not actually change any of his in-ring style. Shawn Michaels with an early pin, doesn't even get a 1 count from AJ Styles. And Michaels fighting back now with some elbows. Sending Styles off, and another big elbow as well. Michaels a kick to the back of AJ Styles, and AJ back up to his feet. Michaels with a drop kick. Michaels now wrenching back the leg of AJ Styles. And Styles yet to get any aggression in. Catches a back fist there. And another couple of right hands. But can he build upon it? Oh, catching the leg. Oh, dragon screw. Clever maneuver. Taking the leg of Shawn Michaels down. Obviously a very important thing to do. Because Shawn Michaels does like to utilise the sweet chin music. And if you can take away some of the strength from that leg, that might weaken the potential damage hit by that sweet chin music. Both guys back up to a standing base. There was AJ releasing with a couple of elbows. Oh, and clotheslines Shawn Michaels to the outside. AJ Styles now looking to join Shawn Michaels on the outside, looking to continue the assault. Do you think the word mayhem's too big on the apron there? What do you think? I'm not sure. That looks alright. I don't like the way the M has got a little bit that seems to be, the white seems to disappear. It's alright, I quite like the arena, it's not too bad, is it? Designing things is not my strong point, so the fact that I've designed all the championships, I've not downloaded any championships at all for this universe mode, I've created all my own championships, and I'm happy with a lot of them, I'm not happy with some of them. But I think they've done pretty well. The crowd shouting, "This is awesome." They know exactly what they're seeing here in the ring. They're seeing a match that people are going to be talking about for years in SWE. A match that defines our very first Mayhem-only pay-per-view. And I think that's going to be a better way of doing it, because I think even for myself, the 5-day pay-per-views were a bit much. I'm pretty sure for you guys they were as well. So if we just have, at the end of every week, just have one pay-per-view for each brand, it still means that every brand is going to get a pay-per-view every 4 weeks, but it means they're much more spread out, and championship matches are much more spread out as well. So you're not going to go through an entire month not seeing a single championship match, then getting blitzed them all over the course of a few days. Now we're going to have them knock around at the end of every single week. Of course, the end of this week is going to be Adrenaline Rush, Adrenaline Rush. Phenomenal forearm. I'm talking crap, and AJ Styles could win this. There's the pin. 1, 2, and oh, it's only a 2. AJ's convinced it was a 3. I'm convinced it was a 3. I heard the referee's hand hit the mat 3 times then. Did you guys? I'm sure I heard his hand hit the mat 3 times. So what is that? The forearm is a finisher maneuver, isn't it? So it's not the... he can't go for this Styles Clash now, can he? It was one or the other. Yeah, the Uriganagayagi thing, the Death Valley driver onto the knee was his signature maneuver. So Styles needs to build himself back up here if he wants to keep Michaels down. But that first phenomenal forearm is definitely going to do a lot of damage. It's just a case of building upon it now and trying to finish Shawn Michaels off. And Michaels is struggling here, but no, does catch AJ Styles with a jawbreaker. And Styles fighting back, taking Michaels down. Big elbow to the top of the head. Styles dropping back into the corner, celebrating. Maybe a little bit premature, Styles, to be celebrating, to be honest. Styles bringing Michaels back up now, rolls him through into a calf killer. Oh, lovely. Lovely maneuver. And look where Shawn Michaels is positioned. He could not be further away from the ropes if he tried. Oh, but the elbow to the back of AJ Styles, and Michaels breaks free. But Styles is looking in a dominant position here. DDT there by Shawn Michaels, taking Styles down. Can Styles salvage this? Michaels, sorry, salvage this one? Like I said, he's been struggling for quite some time. Michaels reverse suplex. And a big kick to the chest of AJ Styles. Michaels now making his way up to the top. We know he likes to use the Macho Man elbow. And there it is, the Macho Man style elbow from the top rope by Michaels. Now into the pin he goes. 1, 2, and AJ Styles kicks out from the 2. Michaels now backing away into the corner. Is he looking to tune up the band potentially? I don't think so, as AJ's back up to a knee. Michaels just taking a few seconds to relax, but maybe just lining AJ Styles up as he ran through with that clothesline right in the face. And now Michaels looking to tune up the band. And there it is, the sweet chin music by Michaels on AJ Styles. 1, 2, and no, Styles kicked out of this as well. Holy hell. What a match. That is insane. Michaels now up top, willing Styles to get back up to his feet. Styles went for the double axe handle. Sorry, Michaels went for the double axe handle, but Styles caught him with a punch in the gut. Now Styles bringing Michaels back up to his feet. Can Styles turn this one back round? Both these guys hit a finisher maneuver on the other one, and both still surviving. Michaels with a pin once again. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. So just to clear something up, just in case it does become an issue, or not an issue, but a question. It's double points in the main event, but that's only double points to the winner, not for the loser. So if AJ Styles or Shawn Michaels win this one, they will get 10 points, but they will only lose 5 if they lose it. And it's just a way of taking advantage of your opportunities. So yeah, the winner of this one will end up the highest rated man on the roster who does not currently have a championship. Michaels winning, AJ up to his feet, and oh, Michaels went for a crossbody. AJ caught him up into a gutbuster. There's the pin by AJ. Of course, rope breaks is not on at the moment because it makes the game a lot more fluid, as I've found. Maybe not as realistic, but definitely much more fluid. And now Styles on his way to the top. This match has been incredible between these two. What a fantastic main event to start this universe. As Styles with a corkscrew senton. Now bringing Michaels back up, but Michaels playing possum. Shoulder block to AJ Styles. Now Michaels going up top once again. We've already seen 2 Macho Man elbows. We're going to see a third. We are. With a rotation in the air as well. Michaels again dropping another elbow on the chest of AJ Styles. Brings Styles back up, but Styles is waiting for it. Sending Michaels over the top. Now Styles trying to drop into a pin. Probably doesn't think he's going to get the victory here, but it gives AJ Styles just a couple of seconds to try and recuperate while Michaels is having to kick out. And of course that's causing Michaels to use up some of his energy kicking out as well. Oh, Michaels just showing off now. Up in the corner, relaxing. And as he sees AJ starting to stir, Michaels drops on and continues the assault. But is Michaels not taking this one seriously enough? Is taunting the crowd going to get in the way of the eventual victor of this match? Michaels now lining Styles up. Sweet chin music for the second time in the match. There's the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And there we go. Shawn Michaels does pick up a victory in the main event of our very first episode of Mayhem. And it will be Michaels going on to face off against Brock Lesnar at our first Mayhem pay-per-view. It was a cracking match, it really was, on every single level. The phenomenal forearm by AJ Styles, almost enough for the 3 count, but not quite. There was a calf killer and so well placed. Michaels could not be further away from the ropes. Then I think this was the pin after, was this the first Sweet Chin music? No, this is the first Sweet Chin music, there it is. All the way across the ring Michaels went, and just knocking the head off of AJ Styles. That was the pin, but it was not quite enough to keep him down. And there was the second Sweet Chin music. Michaels taking AJ out, and there was the pin. 1, 2, and 3. And we are going to have Brock Lesnar versus Shawn Michaels at that first Mayhem pay-per-view. It's going to be a cracker. I'm so looking forward to this. So looking forward to this. So guys, that's the end of our first episode of Mayhem in the brand new Series of the Universe mode. I'm hoping you're enjoying these new changes. I definitely am. I'm feeling a lot more refreshed. I'm feeling a lot more entertained by what is happening in this Universe mode now. And I think with the ranking system and the smaller rosters and the 4 brands, I think we're going to be able to bring a lot more new stuff and a lot more varied wrestling as well for you. We're not going to end up seeing the same people week in, week out. And it's going to be really good. I'm really hoping you're enjoying this. Myself and PJ Toby continue to work backstage to try and make sure everything is balanced and as good as it possibly can be. But of course, if you have any suggestions for things you would like to see in the Universe mode, then please do drop them down in the comment section below. And of course, if you have enjoyed this video, then it'd be great if you could hit that like button for us. It really does help us out. It makes the video easier for other people to find, and makes the channel grow a bit as well, which would be absolutely fantastic. And of course, if you are new around here and you've enjoyed what you've seen, then be sure to hit that subscribe button as well, because there's a lot more of this coming. Like I said, one video every other day at least will be released up now until the release of 2K18, when the Universe mode will continue into 2K18, but maybe with some fresh rosters. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon, in a couple of days' time actually, for our first episode of the new era of SWE Octane. Bye.
One, two,